Good evening, I'm Brendan Miller. After even more revisions, the Boulevard maintenance bylaw is back on Council's agenda tomorrow night. The alterations come after more resident pushback and Council asking city officials to look into 4 areas.
First of all, that was to allow shrubs in the boulevard space. The second one was to increase the height limit on plants that are allowed in planter boxes. The third was to further restrict the use of herbicides, pesticides, rodenticides. The last request was to explore if we could allow plant supporting structures, things like tomato cages, stakes, bean poles, and things like that.
City Climate Action Specialist Danielle Tom believes administration has found a good middle ground with the changes. The new revisions include allowing certain shrubs to up to 1 meter, setting the height limit for herbaceous plants to 1.6 meters, allowing plant supports, and enhancing environmental protection measures. Tom adds administration worked with the city's Accessibility Advisory Committee to ensure there are no barriers to accessing public space.
People move through this area. It's not even just necessarily people living with disabilities. It's small children, it's people kneeling down and things like that we have to make sure sight lines are clear and things like that, which might not make the gardeners happy. But we've kind of, like I said, met in the middle. Not everyone's going to be ecstatic, but I think most people will be pleased.
Tomorrow night, Council could ask for further revisions or begin to move forward, which could lead to ratification by the end of February. Local Liberal MP Marcus Pawlowski believes the resignation of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau could lead to a change in the makeup of the federal cabinet.
Yeah, the reality is that as a white male in the Trudeau government, that as a white male, your chances of getting into cabinet were pretty dismally small.
Pawlowski was referring to Trudeau's decision to have an equal number of men and women with cabinet roles. The Prime Minister first implemented that policy after his 2015 election win. Pawlowski says a good government is one with the best person filling each role.
Is it more important to have gender parity than it is to have good qualified people in cabinet? That's kind of a political decision, but I think if you look at women, for example, the number of women who are lawyers, I think most law schools have been majority women for years. Certainly, even when I went to law school in the end of the '90s, we had more women than men. So it's not that there aren't well qualified women. It's getting a lot of well qualified women into Parliament, and that's something that we would like to do.
The Liberal Party has set their expected date to choose their new leader on March 9th. After 15 hours, Scriber OPP say an armed individual who had barricaded themselves in a residence has been resolved safely. Around 1:20 in the morning, they were dispatched to a residence in Terrace Bay where it was reported an armed person had barricaded inside. OPP had crisis negotiators, emergency response, and canine units to find a safe solution to the incident. At 4:30 in the afternoon, the individual was taken into custody without incident, with no ongoing threat to the community. After 3 years of planning, a new model of healthcare is coming to the Kenora area. The Rural Generalist Council Care Model was created by Kenora medical professionals to suit the specific needs and geographic demands for healthcare in rural northwestern Ontario. The All Nations Health Partners held a news conference this past week. The new physician funding model was created to help alleviate administrative demands on doctors and help fill in shortages, create health equality, and work towards better continuity of care across different services. Kenora Rainy River MPP Greg Rickford was also there to announce that the province will be funding the new model. Advisory Committee Co-Chair Dr. Jilly Retson says the model really is a bold new standard for rural health care delivery.
It has been to address some of the long-standing challenges in healthcare in our area. Challenges such as health inequity, challenges such as gaps in being able to recruit physicians to the community. And a lot of this came about from outdated models of care and siloed models of care. So that is what we hoped to fix and create a solution to as we moved forward. We've had some challenges along the way, but I think the main thing is that what we've learned is that if we all work together, we really can achieve almost anything. And I think that's also the spirit of the All Nation Health Partners.
Rickford has been a part of this project for the past few years, helping gain recognition for its need, and says it's probably the most transformative service care delivery model that has ever existed in Northwestern Ontario and maybe Northern Ontario at large. The city's Winter Fun Days programming continued this weekend at Prince Arthur's Landing. Today, it offered a variety of indoor and outdoor activities for residents to enjoy. Emma Chilton has more.
On Sunday, the Winter Fun Days event offered skating and free maple toffee treats for patrons to enjoy. Attendees were able to warm up inside the Baggage Building Arts Center with an art activity provided by the Community Arts and Heritage Education Project. The indoor activities included a theater workshop, puppet making, and hot chocolate. Up to 150 residents attended, with more seen arriving throughout the event. The staff happily set up additional tables to accommodate the growing crowd, and attendees were excited to share their thoughts and show off their crafts.
I made a snowman and four hump caterpillar.
When I go outside, I get a hot cocoa and I drink hot cocoa and go there watch the ski. Inside, we try make some winter toys like lady, snowman, and bug.
So it's really great to get out during these winter blue months and get to be with the community. And yeah, what do you think, Willie?
Yeah, look, I have Kirby.
So far we've came in and we've made these beautiful little creatures out of different used materials, and the kids got to try some local maple syrup candy, so that was amazing.
Next weekend's featured activities will be snowshoeing at Chapels Park and poetry art at the Baggage Building Arts Center. For more information, you can go to the city's website. Emma Chilton, TBT News.
The Thunder Bay Auto Sports Club returned to Mission Bay for their first round of ice racing in 2 years. With the snow falling, they took to the ice to begin the 2025 season. Starting at noon, practice sessions went out for drivers to get their feel back. One driver in particular, Gary Adamko, told us about his time getting back in the driver's seat.
Well, the first few practice laps were knocking off a lot of rust, overdriving, underdriving, just doing all kinds of crazy things. But eventually, by about the last practice session, started to get most of the rust off and getting into some of the grooves or the paths that the car really likes to take, and so it worked out well.
Even better for Adamko, he swept the 3 races in the studded tire category. He credits his success to having more time to tinker with his car.
Because we didn't run last year, it gave me some additional time to refreshen the engine, which helped with today's success, and another fresh set of tires. So all those contributing factors placed us into the first place position, which was really nice because there's other cars out there that are very, very fast also, and it just luck fell our way.
Adamko also wants to encourage others to build their own race car and compete, and that racing is a family sport for everyone to enjoy.